Okay, this is going to be a cool little sunset or sunrise. Anyway, so we got to decide. I ended up putting black acrylic paint. I put my thin linseed oil on the canvas so it's nice and slick. Then I put alizarin crimson all over the entire canvas, and then light blue right up here. And then we got to decide where we're going to start the horizon, where the brightest part of this horizon is going to be. So we're going to take our paint here, get our paint, and we're going to start our horizon right here. Just starting here, and we're just kind of working around this horizon to go to the brightest, to the and we're just kind of doing a back and forth motion here. You see a little bit of blue starting to pick up there at the top. Okay. Just kind of lightly brush it back out here. Just blend the sky back out nice and good. And we want this a little bit brighter here. So, clean brush again. Just come back into this area. And I want this to be a little bit brighter off this horizon. So just the back bit, kind of doing like a U shape for this guy, just like this, all the way across, and then just lightly blend it back out. Okay, now we're going to clean that brush off. And just beat the devil out of it. Make sure it's nice and dry. And then I'm going to come back. We want a little bit of this yellow. We're going to take a little bit of this yellow. And this is going to kind of brighten this area up some more. Just to have a nice bright area here. And we don't want to get it up here too high because we'll start touching that blue, and then we'll end up with green. So, and that's it. That'll give us a nice little horizon. Just lightly brush it back. Okay. Okay, we got that one clean. Okay. That's not my favorite as much as Bob Ross likes to wash the brushes, but it is still kind of fun. So, we're going to go into some blue. A little bit of this blue. Maybe just a touch of the red on a fan brush, okay? I have a decorative platter that we're using here. So, we're just going to come in here and we're going to put a few clouds here and there. Just do that same stroke back and forth. Okay. Maybe there'll be another one up in here. Okay. And all we're doing is just some back and forth areas. Maybe there's a little bit that just comes right out here in where these, the brightest part. Maybe a little touch right in there. We don't want to get too much of that into there because that's nice and blue there. That'll turn into green really fast. So take a nice clean brush and we just lightly just blend a couple of them clouds right in here. Maybe there's another cloud right up here. Maybe it's a nice dark cloud that comes down in here. And don't forget to subscribe and like, so I can feel like I'm still that you guys are actually liking my videos. So go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe. I will, for this first month at least, I will be giving away a painting. So I'll be drawing people's names. Okay, now we're going to go into a little bit of this black, the red. We're just going to the black and the crimson. And we're going to get in here and do a few trees right in this area here. Maybe a touch of white. Just pull some of that white over here. Okay. Now, just load the fan brush up completely, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to show some very small trees. I'll stand over here so that you can actually see. And you just tap in here, okay? This is going to give us some distant trees. And maybe there's a couple that's a little taller up in here. But you're going to pick up a little bit of that light color that's under this, and that's okay because that will help make this effect a lot nicer. So you can go cruise through here, maybe put a couple trees. I don't know, they just go right on around here like this. But don't forget to put a couple trees up in front of these because it'll show just a little light section. And then you come back in here. You got a little lighter section here. Because it'll pick up some of this color from the back. And you'll be able to see in between a few of these trees. We want to get a few more clumps up in front of this. Maybe tap right down in front of it. You can't see it really well yet, but when I get a little bit of this white in here, what we're going to do is drag just a little bit of white. And we're going to get some, just pull straight up. That gives you a bunch of tree trunks just back in here. Just pull straight up at the base of these trees. And that'll give us a bunch of nice tree trunks back in here. Okay. Once again, I thank you guys for watching. There will be a lot more coming. Now I'm going to, we'll just finish a couple more trees here and there. We'll just throw a couple more trees here. And now you can see it gives you little clumps of trees all over the place here. And these paintings look a little crazy at first, but they will they'll come together. You'll see. Okay. Now we have to decide where we're going to put some grass down in here. We can decide where that's going to be. So I'm going to throw a couple more little tree branches in, a couple little tree trunks back up in here again, just to keep a little light. See, there'll be light coming through here. So you want to have a couple little tree branches that come up through there. So now maybe there's a couple little things here. I'm going to go back in here and just, there's a couple little bushes here. Maybe sets down in here like this. Just tapping sideways with the brush. Okay, and then up, just turn your brush different directions to give you different bushes and things back in here. Okay, so now, okay, clean that brush off, that little fan brush. Okay, now we're going to go into a little bit of that color that we were working with. Actually, I have a little bit of green here. I'm just going to take a little bit of this green, go into this lemon yellow, pull it on out here. Okay. Pull your lemon yellow out. Maybe a little bit of this yellow ochre. Okay. Now, we need to decide where this grass is going to go. So, we're just touching. And this is going to be a grassy field that just comes down here. Maybe goes straight across here. Okay. And you just got to decide how that's going to be. But you leave little spots in between this grass. Now, it's probably going to come down here and kind of in a hill. Come down a hill a little bit here. See, as you tapping, you can bring this hill, you can bring it to the lay of the land. See, I'm kind of coming across here like this. So just keep tapping in your grass. And see, when you decide where your grass is going to end, it'll be okay, because it's all going to turn into reflections if you don't like where it's going to be, where it is, okay? So, we're going to take just a little bit of that greenish color here. Maybe this comes on out here just a little bit further. Okay, maybe this comes just a little bit further. Okay, and you see there's little planes in between this grass. So now we just take where we want this land to meet, you pull straight down. And maybe I want this to stop here. You just pull down. And then this is straight across. Very lightly. Just enough to disturb it. We want to get some of that nice yellow here. Pull that down. Okay. Just lightly bring it across. And this will give you your reflections in the water. Okay, so now you see we got some grass going. What I want to do is give you, we're going to go just like right here where the sun is setting. This is going to be just light. That's going to give us a nice bright section here in this water. And maybe it goes. Okay. Take a nice dry one. Pull it down again. Like this. And then shimmer the water. Don't forget, pull straight across. Even though this looks like you should do that, don't do that. Water goes straight across, okay? So now, as you can see, we've got reflections in this water. Okay, so we've got a nice little body of water here. Now, I get my we're going to take a little bit of that dark color. This is my palette knife, and I'm going to just looking for a little bit of land here. Okay, everywhere that is at the land, okay. And once again, all you're doing is kind of scraping into this land edge. Okay, maybe a little bit here. Okay, you see there's a little bit of land there. So, you can take that, come into a little bit of this brown, a little bit of this yellow ochre, and just kind of, you know, that piece of land will be a little bright setting in the sunlight here. Just lightly drag it a little bit, because this land will be back in here, in where the grass is, you know. And then whenever you get down here, it's a little closer, so you may see a little bit more of that land. Okay. That just gives you a little bit of contrast. Maybe this land is just sets up in there like that. Okay. So this one. That's just a little watery edge. So you can come back to your grassy area. Just kind of tap a little bit here and there, just to put a couple of that little, maybe there's a couple sparklers setting out on that grass. And then come back in with your green color and just touch here and there, just to make that edge kind of go together. And sometimes you can just pull up a little bit. maybe tap here once you get up here close to the edge. So see, that gives you a little bit of edge right there on the side of the grassy areas. You can go into a little bit of this, into a little bit of the white, and just have a couple areas where the light is actually hitting a little bit more. Maybe it's hitting that grass and hitting that grass a little bit more there. Because as you can see, sometimes the grass will hit more in different spots when the light is coming up. So here we go. Clean these couple brushes real quick, and then we'll put in some other, a little bit of something on this side to close that in. Okay, got that brush. Now, what we're going to do now, I want to get we'll probably have one tree that comes up here. Yeah, I think we'll bring a tree down here. Just tap here. Start your little leaves here. This is a little Christmas tree. Just basically you're tapping side to side. Get your okay. Maybe that one will stop there, I think. And then we're bringing another one. Maybe it's got another little guy here. Just go ahead and come. Maybe he's a little taller. So you just start with the corner of your brush, your fan brush. And this is a number 2 fan brush. So basically we just come down here, keep working this, and okay, and that guy's still going to be a little dark because he's back there. I think what we'll do is throw just a few highlights on it. Tone it down just a little bit in this greenish color. It's gonna have all those colors in it that we were using. So I put a little bit of white, some green. It's going to be a pretty dark highlight, but what we want to do is just give it just enough highlight for us to see it here. So I come back in here and you can see it's kind of a darkish green color. Okay, we got a few little highlights back here. I don't want it to be much because it's not too bright back in there. So you can see a little bit of highlights, but not much. Let's just wipe that little brush off real quick. And then come back in here. I'm going to make this one just a little brighter. Maybe the sun's hitting it on this side some more. So, let's see. We'll come in here. This one's getting a little more of that light coming through. Just on this side of the tree, I think. So, we just come through. We hit this wherever we think light might be hitting. Okay. Now, we're just about done with this painting. I really don't want to put too much more in this painting. I just wanted to show you that you could do a painting pretty quick. It's a nighttime scenery. Just go back in here, scratch a few sticks and twigs up in here. Maybe you see part of the tree trunk in here. You see just a little tree trunk. Maybe there's a bigger tree branches. A couple little twigs here on the beach. Okay, a couple little sticks and twigs here. Oh, okay, last little thing that we're going to do. The last little thing we got to do is put a little water line in here. Maybe this just goes right along here like this. And you're just going back and forth with this white on your palette knife. You just pull it out nice and thin. You put a little roll of paint on there. And you just go back and forth. Kind of put a little bit of pressure. Go back and forth right near the land. So a little bit of this white will come up onto the land here. Water just sits there like that. And then here and there, you can throw a couple little water lines in there, and that looks like a done painting. Thank you for watching. God bless, and we'll see you next time.